I'm terminating your employment effective today with the authority of the branch manager. Thank you for your hard work until now.
Approaching retirement, I had stepped back from the hectic front desk duties to work in a less demanding back office role. Our new, young, and energetic branch manager started purging anything he deemed unnecessary or obstructive in the name of reform. Not just things, but duties and people too. I don't understand why I'm being fired. To which the manager, with an utterly bothered look, bluntly said,
You're in the way. Just sitting back and relaxing with easy work that anyone could do. Getting all self-important after finishing trivial tasks. It's irritating to watch.
The manager laid out this absurd reasoning without any shame or consideration. So, it's just trivial work that anyone can do leisurely, huh? If it's a work order, then I have no choice. I decided to comply with the branch manager's directive. A week later, I was bombarded with calls from the bank. My name is Edward. I'm a bank employee working behind the scenes. Currently 51 years old. Having moved away from the busy front desk work, my job now mainly involves handling miscellaneous clerical tasks and occasionally serving long-time customers. Watching young staff bustling at the counter reminds me of my younger days. Being in a back office role, without prospects for further promotion, I'm just waiting for retirement. However, I quite like my current job. It seems a fittingly stable way of working for an employee nearing retirement. In fact, most employees around my age at our branch gradually start to downscale their workload. Many retire earlier than scheduled. Some to enjoy their later years sooner, and others due to personal circumstances like family care or health issues. I guess it's about time for life changes, such as taking care of parents or grandchildren. Just recently, the branch manager retired before reaching retirement age, due to needing to care for his family back home. And today, we have a new branch manager.
I'm Michael, your new branch manager. Looking forward to working with everyone.
At the morning meeting, the new branch manager, Michael, greeted the staff with great energy. He appears to be about 10 years younger than me. Dressed in a crisp suit and wearing an expensive-looking watch, his eyes were gleaming with ambition. His intense gaze and aura were so dazzling that I honestly felt it would be tough to keep up with him.
You there? Could you show me around the office, please?
Me? Sure. I'll show you around.
Thanks. Everyone else, please carry on with your work as usual. Don't mind me.
Michael then started his tour with a young female employee. Let's call her Emily. Like the others, I continued with my regular tasks.
Excuse me, but what task are you working on right now?
While I was doing data entry work, a loud voice suddenly spoke from above me. Whoa, that startled me. My inner thoughts slipped out. Looking up, I saw Michael, arms crossed and looking rather displeased, and Emily, who seemed a bit troubled, watching me.
What's this?
Michael asked, looking at my work. I honestly replied, I'm checking and entering application forms. Michael sighed heavily.
Honestly, I've never seen such a lax workplace before.
He complained with a look of utter disdain. Lax? What do you mean?
Just what I said. At my previous branch, no employee took this much time on back office tasks. I'm surprised there are employees specialized in this.
Checking and entering documents may not be a big job, but it's necessary work. Mistakes can't be tolerated in tasks involving large sums of money. Someone has to do it, I believe. I don't know how it was at that branch, but is it possible that no one did the back office work? I thought about retorting that, but somehow felt it was too bothersome and gave up. Instead, I just responded, "Is that so?" and gave a wry smile. Emily looked on worriedly, and I felt sorry for her. I thought if I let it slide, Michael would just leave, but he stayed put and seemed to ponder something. Then, as if he had made up his mind, he nodded and announced to no one in particular,
Decided. From tomorrow, we will reform this branch.
The next day, true to his word, Michael started implementing changes at the branch. First off, he replaced almost all the office equipment with new ones. I wondered where the budget for that came from, but then I noticed an increase in the workload for the younger to mid-level staff, especially at the counter. Tasks that used to be sent to back office jobs like mine were now less frequent, making the already busy staff even busier than before. If he pulls off this reform at the branch, sales will likely increase, benefiting all employees and propelling him to a higher position. I heard from the younger staff that Michael was talking ambitiously about this. But since his arrival, there has been a slight improvement in the performance of the junior staff, perhaps due to his strict guidance. As for me, watching Michael and the younger staff, I thought to myself, youth is incredible, as if it were someone else's concern. So, I never imagined that this reform would turn against me. One day, Michael called me into his office. I was a bit surprised since he hadn't spoken to me directly since his first day. "Do you need something?"
Yes, I'll keep it brief because I'm busy.
he said while thrusting a piece of paper at me.
I'm terminating your employment effective today, with the authority of the branch manager. Thank you for your hard work.
"Yes," I replied, tilting my head reflexively. Michael's voice was so loud that other nearby employees could hear the sudden termination notice, causing a stir. I thought I had misheard, but the document clearly stated it was a notice of dismissal.
You will be compensated fairly for your work so far, and we will handle the difficult procedures. So please pack your belongings and leave.
Michael spoke quickly and then turned his back on me, hurrying back to his work. Completely baffled, I pressed him for an explanation. "Wait a minute, why am I being fired? Did I do something to harm the branch?" Despite my serious tone, Michael didn't look at me and simply said,
We'll properly handle the retirement encouragement.
"That's not what I'm talking about. I'm asking if I've violated any work regulations or made a major mistake. This is wrongful dismissal." Michael sighed with annoyance and finally faced me.
You've violated the duty of diligent service. Bank officers and employees must be aware of their public mission and strive for fairness and efficiency in performing their duties, as the regulations state.
"Why am I accused of violating that? Please be specific."
What a hassle. You don't try to keep up with new equipment or systems and still use outdated ones, causing delays, don't you see?
Michael rattled off furtively and quickly. Have I ever caused a delay in work deadlines? I don't think I've caused any delays.
It's a waste of time when young employees have to teach you how to use new equipment, or when they have to wait for your confirmation, disrupting smooth operations.
That's quite a far-fetched accusation, I said, anger seeping through my words. Michael clicked his tongue and stepped closer to me, glaring intimidatingly.
You're in the way,
Michael said dismissively.
while other employees are busy working. You're just sitting back and relaxing with easy work that anyone could do, getting all self-important after finishing trivial tasks. It's frustrating to watch.
It seemed like Michael wasn't even trying to hide his malice anymore, speaking recklessly to someone older than him. I'm neither relaxing nor arrogant. So, you're saying you want to fire me not because I'm causing losses to the branch, but because you find me annoying. Confronted with Michael's irrational logic, I somehow became calm and stated that,
Think whatever you want. Layoffs for staff restructuring aren't uncommon. Would you gone? We can hire capable young employees when the time is right.
Michael replied with a sneer.
Termination without a rational reason is an abuse of authority. Moreover, the back office work assigned to Edward by the previous manager is supposed to continue this term.
Emily, who had been watching us argue, spoke up timidly. Following her, other employees started muttering, "Yeah, it's an abuse of authority."
Then, as of now, I declare back office work abolished.
Michael shouted, not caring who heard. It was lucky that there were no customers around after hours.
I'm the current manager. The previous one might have tolerated it, but I won't have incompetence in my branch. If anyone objects, they're fired too. There's plenty of replacements.
The other employees quickly looked away. Only Emily kept her eyes on Michael, albeit fearfully. Realizing the situation might turn against her next, I took a deep breath and calmly said, "Understood. If the position is being abolished, I have no choice but to accept the termination." My sudden acceptance of the order left everyone, including Michael, momentarily speechless. However, let me advise you, everything said and done here has been heard by the other staff. Everything. So please, have no regrets.
Regrets? What are you talking about? I'm glad you understand and accept it. It really helps me out.
That ended our conversation. I packed my things and finished the minimal handover that day. Leaving the bank where I had worked for over 20 years in such a manner was deeply disappointing. Yet, at my departure, the colleagues I had worked with for years showed they would miss me. Some even with tears. Despite their pleas to reconsider, I left, content with their feelings. A week passed. With no job, I no longer needed to wake up early, leading to erratic sleep patterns. Today, I woke up around 10 a.m. and found several missed calls on my phone. All from the bank I was supposedly fired from a week ago. What's this about? Before I could ponder further, the phone rang again. Picking up, I was greeted with a familiar shouting voice. What on earth is going on? Wow, what? Is that you, Michael? What's this all of a sudden?
What do you mean, what? What did you do? Tell me the truth.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Start from the beginning, please. Michael then explained that days after my departure, several major clients threatened to close their accounts. The bank's internal operations were nearly collapsing, unable to function properly. Throughout the conversation, Michael sounded panicked, but frankly, I couldn't care less. That's why I warned you, I said, with a look of disdain. In my first year working at the bank's counter, lacking confidence in my abilities, I spared no effort to improve my communication skills. Eventually, I could handle even the most difficult customers or complex explanations effortlessly. In my 50s, the customers I occasionally dealt with were those who had long relied on me. They trusted me more than anyone else for my clear and concise explanations, including some of Michael's mentioned major clients. Wealthy individuals are careful with their money and won't entrust their significant assets to a bank where they can't trust the people. That's what I always prioritize: trust with clients. In just 1 week, this person lost their trust I built over 20 years. At that point, my feelings transcended anger and sadness. I was simply astounded. I don't know what caused the major clients to leave all at once, but what do you mean the back office work is on the brink of collapse? I thought those trivial jobs anyone could do were supposed to be easy and comfortable. I tried speaking in a rare sarcastic tone. I knew that administrative work wasn't something that could be done casually alongside other tasks, and deliberately used the same words that Michael had previously said to me. Having stepped back from customer-facing duties as I neared 50, I had taken on most of the processing work that other staff couldn't manage. Though each task in processing work was simple, the sheer volume meant it took as much time and effort as customer service. Spending all day with numbers and documents is more exhausting than one might think, causing many to burn out quickly. I might be an anomaly, finding joy solely in my work, not having a family or particular hobbies, and always eager to learn new things. In any case, I believe there was no such thing as idle work at the bank.
It's obvious. You must have bad-mouthed our branch to your clients.
Of course not. As a professional, I would never undermine a branch's reputation out of personal feelings. I simply sent thank you letters to the clients who had relied on me for years. Of course, I was in the process of handing over the clients I had acquired to Emily and other junior employees. When clients visited the bank, I would occasionally greet them, assuring them that they could trust these younger staff members when I eventually retired. When Michael ordered my termination, I wrote personalized greeting cards to each client, explaining my departure. I was terminated for a logical reason, right? For neglecting my duty of diligence. I just informed and apologized to the clients.
So, that's why the clients are complaining that you were treated unfairly. You shouldn't have interfered.
The apologies in my letters for my supposed negligence did not violate any duty to maintain trust or confidentiality. I believe informing them of my retirement and introducing my successors was the right thing to do. It may sound inappropriate, but I was quite pleased that many clients were angry about the unfair treatment I received. They probably believed that someone like me could never have violated my professional duties. It felt like a validation of my diligent work.
Come back immediately. You have to take responsibility for this mess.
What are you talking about? You fired me a week ago. I'm no longer an employee there. Shouldn't you be getting back to work instead of wasting time on this pointless conversation?
That termination notice was fake. You're still an employee here. Consider the last week as paid leave and come back to work immediately.
His audacity knew no bounds, and he even admitted to falsifying documents. Michael's ranting, devoid of any shame, almost made me faint. You've been quite loud. Isn't it business hours? Are you not bothering the clients? I tried to stay calm in my response. After a pause, Michael's voice came through the phone, subdued.
Please come to the bank. I'm begging you.
Later, I visited the bank as requested and was led to the manager's office, where Michael and the senior bank officials were present. Seeing Michael after a week, he looked worn out, a shadow of his former self, likely chastised by the higher-ups. The executives apologized to me, unanimously asking me to return. I'm sorry for not meeting your expectations, but I can no longer work under a manager who commits unfair dismissal and document forgery.
If the manager changes, would that resolve the issue?
Before I could answer, Michael rushed over and apologized deeply.
Edward, I apologize for my rude behavior. I didn't realize you managed many major clients. Please don't let me be fired.
Michael's demeanor had changed, though he was still loud.
Michael, please keep your voice down. It's carrying over to the client area.
As the door opened with a knock, Emily and the president of Brown Real Estate, a major client I managed, stood there.
Edward, Emily has always been under your good care.
Thank you, and I apologize for the disturbance. President Brown greeted me politely when he saw me. He is my longest-serving client, and also the father of Emily, the bank employee.
I've heard about this situation from Emily, and understand it's been tough on you. It has made me think about reassessing where I keep my assets. Today, I came with Emily to take care of that.
It seemed that President Brown was also considering closing his account with our bank. Losing a client who had been with me for so long was regrettable, but inevitable.
However, I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I heard something about changing the branch manager and Edward returning. If that's true, I would feel secure entrusting my assets to Edward again.
It's unclear if President Brown's words were decisive, but ultimately, Michael was promptly dismissed. He was given a genuine termination notice, and while his future was of no concern to me, I thought someone with his experience in banking wouldn't struggle to find another job. However, it didn't seem as straightforward as I thought. President Brown, holding accounts at various banks, had casually shared the details of this incident with employees at these banks. Consequently, Michael became blacklisted in the industry and was turned down for employment everywhere he went.
There's no duty of confidentiality to a single customer.
Emily remarked nonchalantly, which I found somewhat intimidating. I heard through the grapevine that Michael was now making ends meet through part-time jobs. I sent out greeting cards to my clients, informing them of my return to the bank. Those who had once lost trust and closed their accounts were quick to reopen them upon hearing of my reinstatement. This experience taught me the importance of proper transition and passing on responsibilities, and I am now diligently training the younger employees. Fortunately, these young staff members are highly responsible and eager to learn. Being valued and needed even after turning 50 feels incredibly rewarding. With a newfound goal of nurturing the next generation of bankers, I am enjoying my days, filled with excitement and a sense of purpose.